from the Asian Community Development Council. This is Family in Focus, Mondays at 12 noon on PHLV Radio.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Family in Focus, a weekly podcast brought to you by the Asian Community Development Council, ACDC, a nonprofit based here in Las Vegas, Nevada, with the goal of educating, empowering, and connecting the Asian American Pacific Islander community. And we are so happy to be talking about a really special event coming up, brought to you by the Vietnamese community here in Las Vegas. It's called the Mid-Autumn Festival. It is coming up here on September 25th, so just around the corner. We have some special guests with us today. We have Kim Lay and we have Tuan Pham. Kim Lay is the president of the Vietnamese community, Vietnamese American community of Las Vegas, and Tuan Pham is actually the principal of Voice of Viet Las Vegas, so a media here in Las Vegas. So thank you, Tuan and Kim, both of you, for joining me today on this podcast. Want to talk about so many things, but yes, this Mid-Autumn Festival that's coming up this Saturday, been something that both of you have been working on for quite a while to get this going. I know this has been going on for many years, but this year is actually taking place on the area of the church, like Lady of the Lavang. So, Kim, I'm going to start with you. Tell me a little bit about what you do and about your nonprofit, your organization here in Las Vegas.
Well, my name is Kim Lay, and the Vietnamese American community of Las Vegas has been around. It's been established since the 80s. During that time, there were approximately 3,000 to 5,000 Vietnamese who lived in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. As the time goes on, there are different terms and different presidents that's been nominated to keep the together. Mm-hmm. As of 2021, May of 2021, I was elected and become the new Vietnamese president for the Vietnamese American community in Las Vegas. If I'm aware of today, the populations of the Vietnamese in Vegas could be over 20,000 people.
Wow. So it's grown a lot over the last 10 years, the number of Vietnamese people.
Right. The missions of the Vietnamese American community is to connect. We wanted to connect to other ethnic groups in the community. We wanted to promote the cultural preservation. That's very important for the Vietnamese younger generations, the second generations who were born and raised here, so that they understand and appreciate the rich culture that we have for 4,000 years. Other than that, to improve the quality of lives of everyone, all the immigrants who comes here, to help enrich the social economic well-being for them, and to encourage more civic engagement. That's what our mission is, and that's what we would like to do.
That's great. So the Vietnamese community of Las Vegas, and Kim is now the current president. And of course, you're behind this Mid-Autumn Festival. You're working with the church to get this event going. Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about details. We also have some great pictures to share from from past events as well. But let's bring Tuan into the conversation here. And Tuan Pham, you're the principal of Voice of Viet. Talk to us a little bit about that. And I know that you're a big part of this church as well.
Good afternoon, Petrina. Thank you so much for having us on your show. Basically, that I am who moved here from the East Coast back in 2002, and since then I've been involved in a few organizations helping the communities. But in this particular time, I think that we have the new presidents of the Vietnamese American community of Las Vegas, and I've been drafting to be part of as the advisor for the group. And I'm glad that we have the new a new fresh people coming in with new blood. And I think that the unities is one of the priority that the organizations wanted to do. This year, we had the opportunity to work with Our Lady of Balabagan, which is our church where my parish is. And I congregated there every week to, if I'm home, to be there and working with the church. So this year, I think hopefully that we're going to bring a few other organizations within the communities of the Asian community to enjoy the celebrations of Mid-Autumns. And hopefully that you're going to be part of it. And I know that you have accepting our invitations to be there. I don't know that it is still on the table or not, but I look forward to having you at the celebrations.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to checking this festival out because I actually haven't been there myself, and I actually have not been to the church, but I know that Lady at the Lavang, and I know we have a poster of this event too that you've been getting out there on social media and you want people to come out. But this is a big kind of gathering place, right, at this church of the Vietnamese community. I know you have many events here, but tell me, if people are heading to this event, Mid-Autumn Festival, what can they expect at the church? What's going to be happening on the evening of the 25th?
The main focus of the festival is for the children. Therefore, there's going to be lots of lanterns are given out to the children. We're going to have the lantern parade. We have the moon cake that we're going to share to everyone, including the adult. We have we have this wonderful Vietnamese food. We're going to have it's totally free. So it's going to be egg rolls, some of the traditional sticky sweet rice, coconut, things like that. Water, of course, is also free. But the main thing is we wanted to other ethnic groups, people that like the dignitaries, the other people, they are participating, learning about how rich and how beautiful these celebrations are all about.
Yeah, and I think we have some pictures too, Kim, from former events that I want to share that I think we're going to see on Saturday, right? We're going to have the lion dance, and as you mentioned, there are lanterns, different activities for children and families, and I love how everybody's dressed in their traditional. Is it called ao yang? Is that what's the name of the traditional dress?
Oh, yeah.
This traditional ao yai.
Ao
that we
yai, that's
normally
right.
Invitations. Even when we go to church, we wear those too.
That's really beautiful. And Tuan, I know you've been part of this community for a long time, and especially with the church. What does it do, Tuan, when you bring this festival together and bring the Vietnamese people together? It's a lot of sense of pride, right? A lot of a kind of cultural celebration for the Vietnamese community.
Yeah, the church itself is a non-political identity. So basically, before, probably within the last 5 years, that we changed the air of the church by basically inviting a lot of different dignitaries from different organizations to coming in, especially the government. Congressionals and other government agencies to the church, because we feel that in order to open our arms and greeting others, I think part of it is also a ways that you're inviting other people to come in, especially the people who are in power, to make sure that they understand our cultures as well, our religions, not trying to recruiting them, but basically as part of the traditions of welcoming people to our church. So, and this time, the Mid-Autumn, the very first time at our church, we're going to have some dignitaries there. And I have invited several congressional people, as well as the state level, to come in and enjoy our festival. So hopefully we're going to have a few. As I mentioned earlier, Mid-Autumn's festival is the second most celebrated in Vietnam. So beside the Lunar New Year, So this is a chance for us to expose our culture to other people so they can learn more about us. That way we can unify the community as well as get to know other community.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. Yeah, and Kim, and I'll bring you into the conversation here because you have been out with your nonprofit and gone out to with Metro Police, right? You've been with ACDC at other organizations, so you're working to let people know more about the Vietnamese people and the issues you're all dealing with.
Correct. Yes. And one of our missions, like I mentioned to you earlier, is to reach out to other communities, because we wanted to connect with the state level, the government official level, and the police, the Metro Police, that we can express the issues that we are currently have in the community and get help, and also partnership with them so that we can help build a better community.
And as you were saying, Kim, earlier, the number of Vietnamese people who are living here now in Nevada and Las Vegas have just grown, right? There have been more and more people moving in. Talk to us about how that has been. I mean, I'm sure, it's a great thing to see the community growing, but I'm sure there are challenges as well, especially with this past year being with the pandemic, right? Do you want to share some of that and what the community needs to know about what you're going through?
Now, we have a large Vietnamese community here. Like I said, it's over to 20,000 people. But the challenge that I find that might be what we are facing currently is the lack of communications. There are different organizations of Vietnamese, like the Buddhist temples, the Catholic Church, Our Lady of the Catholic Church, and other Vietnamese organizations as well, that we might or might not have a chance to reach out and connect with them. So majority of those groups are working individually or separately. So our goal is, if possible, we would like to connect with all of them so that way we can help build a stronger Vietnamnese community. And that's one of the I find that it's lack of communication.
Lack of communication. And that's really interesting because, and Antoine, maybe you can kind of share on this a little bit because, with the mission of ACDC, they're really trying to break down that cultural barrier, that language barrier and give services to all the communities. Antoine, how do you, and I know you've been with Voice of Viet, talk to us a little bit about that and what your work has been in terms of breaking down that language and communication barriers for the Vietnamese community. And is it working, or what are you still kind of working on to make sure that communication gets out there to the Vietnamese community?
I believe that the community is growing so fast. In fact, that between 2010 2020, there's a 147% increase in our Vietnamese populations, and that is based on the real census, though. However, that number is actually to me, based on my book, I think it is still underestimate because it's growing much, much bigger than that. As you know, the majority of the Asian people, they are not registered and doing the census. So basically, that is just the official's number. However, unofficially, I believe that number is much greater. Now, as far as your question concerned, we did not have any communication within the community itself, but we are in progress, meaning that in the last 2 years, I was able to bring in 2 TV stations, Vietnamese TV station, 24 hours a day, communicating with people. However, the programming, we're still working on the programming and make sure that we deliver some of the activities and community activities within the community itself. So I'm working very hard on that. Besides, we now have some representations in the state level as well as in the county level. Hopefully that we're gonna make the connections between whatever we lack of, and we're gonna, within the next year or so, hopefully that those channel will bring in the news and the communication within the community, and everyone is in order to participate. They know exactly what's going on. And as far as my concern, I think there is a lot of goal that I want to accomplish, that including several things, and that would be included in the educations, housing, employment, civil rights, health, political empowerment, economic development. That is my goal, and helping various organizations here to accomplish those goals. It's not a small goal, but hopefully that with Kim helps, I think we're gonna make it a realizations shortly.
Yeah,
We are making progress. There are a few Vietnamese who actually present at the state level, county level. Miss Rochelle Nguyen, the Assemblywoman.
right.
We have Yuri from ACDC, the Planning Commission right there. And then now that we just had
So now is
Dow
is one of the commissioners that he replacing me on the role.
standing the AAPI,
The new commission, the new AAPI Clark County Commission. Yeah.
So we are getting there.
No, but it's like step by step, right? No, it's like, one person at a time making a difference. And I think what you, Kim, and Tuan are doing, especially, bringing people together at this Mid-Autumn Festival. You're just joining us live here on Family in Focus. We are talking about the Vietnamese community, how it's grown so much here in Southern Nevada just in the last few years. So the effort to bring people together is really important. And they're doing it this coming weekend, September 25th, 2021, at the Lady of the Lavang Church. So this starts at 6 p.m. At the church on Pearl Street. So we're putting this information up on the screen if you're watching this on social media. This is great. There's all kinds of activities, lion dance, martial arts. There's a lantern, traditional dress contest that's happening as well. Lots of free food and drinks for people to come. Kim, what's your favorite part of this? I know you've done this event before, even though not at the church. What do you think is the most popular? I'm sure the kids getting together in their traditional dresses, really fun part of this event.
Like I said, it's seeing the happiness on children's face when they're receiving the moon cakes, and also walk around within the lantern that lit up in the dark under the full moon. It's a wonderful experience for the kids, especially children that were born here. They don't know the history of the Mid-Autumn Festival. So seeing them being happy together with their families there, that's what our goal is to provide a safe, beautiful, rich cultural event for the Vietnamese. And we also wanted to invite not only the Vietnamese, but all of the other communities to come and join us.
Well, you have great food. That's always a draw. People always love to come for that anyways. And I love Vietnamese food. So I'll be there for that. And Tuan, what's a little bit of a history with people not familiar with Mid-Autumn Festival? You said this is one of the biggest festivals for Vietnamese community, not just here in the U.S., but all around the world, right?
Well, the festival itself is shared by several other Asian countries as well, especially Chinese people. They celebrate the same, and I believe that's at least 4 or 5 different other countries that are sharing the same festival. But particularly in Vietnamese, that is one of, as I mentioned earlier, that the second most celebrated festival in the country, and we brought that traditions to the state. So again, this is a festival that not only to show everyone our culture, but this is particularly for the children. And of course, that everyone would love the children when they are happy, and that is, and I believe that children is the the futures of our community. So if they understand our cultures, that would be better representing the country within a larger community, the Asian community, and of course that the mainstream people. So I believe that the more that people understand each other culturally, I think the better that we're gonna build our community. So and I think that everyone need to understand each other culture, to understand and to share our pride with each other.
And especially with our community getting so diverse, you know, not just Asian Americans, but other groups as well, especially here in Nevada. And Kim, talk to me a little bit about your partnership with other Asian American groups, you know, like ACDC. Why is that so important to kind of reach out and partner with different organizations to help you and spread the message of what you need in your community?
Yes, you know, reaching out to organization like ACDC is extremely helpful with Viet Nevada culture as well, and with other, you know, the Korean group, the Japanese group, or the Filipino group here in town. We believe that we wanted to come together to represent at the county level, that we are here, we can get our voice to be heard. So when it's time to address an issues or to related an issues to dignitaries or anyone in the county or city level, we have organizations such as the CDC who's already there to actually to help us engage and to back us up in some of the issues that we need to address within the community.
No, it's great. And it is good to see you, you know, taking a role of president and getting out there. And you were at Metro recently, right? You had a meeting. Talk to us a little bit about that. Why is this important to get? I know, you know, we talked about issues, especially with our Asian American population growing, but maybe we don't have as many of diverse or Asian American police officers, because that's about building the trust, right? Like you want people to see the faces of Asian Americans in the police force. Do you feel like that's an issue? Like, do we need more people represented in Metro who are maybe Vietnamese, right? Who can connect with our community?
Yes, we had a chance to talk to Captain Perez. He also expressed the issues that you just mentioned. There's enough Asian American police there. When it comes, you know, in Asians, because of the cultures, so there are issues that they don't address it or they don't reach out to the police department to report. So that makes it very hard for police officer, for the team to solve the problem. So we have Asian American police officer. We'll have partnership with the police department, with Metro Police. They can understand our needs better, so they can better serve you. For example, Tuan has mentioned that for years we were addressing about how dangerous is Chinatown's area is when it's come to theft and vandalism. But because leaders had come together and address the issues to the Metro Police, and we finally have the whole Spring Mountain Street that have light has been installed and lit up.
Cameras.
Is that right? Correct, Tuan?
Yeah, cameras and, you know, we install cameras there. So, yeah.
There's cameras and there's light. So my point is we haven't in the past reached out and partnership with Metro Police. That's why it's very hard for them to help and try to bring or to solve what we need. So now that after the meeting with them, we now actually know we have connections, we are networking with them. So in the futures, we are not afraid to reach out, and we know who to contact when there is problems or there is help within the community. And he also addressed that, you know, he would like to have a booth at the Moon Festival.
Oh,
so
that's
that way
great. Yeah.
they can promote and also invite people to come and learn more about what the kind of work that they do for the community, and also to encourage people, you know, more Asians Americans, hopefully, to become the future police officer.
That's great. And Tuan, your thoughts, ending this conversation. You've been in this community for a long time. I'm sure you've seen, many positive things over the years. How proud of you of this community, the Vietnamese community, and things that they're doing now to connect with other groups and in Southern Nevada in general?
People like you, people like you, people at the ACDC and other organizations. I think it is vital for the community because you engaging and you are reaching out to communities like us. That way, I believe that it is a way to understand each other and promoting things that we wanted to have a safe community for the communities, as well as changing our cultures. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you to reach out to us, also to ACDC. I think that they have done quite a bit of works within the community, and I think the involvement that they have done is very important. It's like an incubator for smaller organizations and help them grow. That is very vital and important role that each of us are playing. As I mentioned, if we don't have people like you, it's very hard. And fortunately, in our community here in Las Vegas, we have that. And again, thank you so much for offering those services to the community.
And we want to thank you and Kim for working so hard on this Mid-Autumn Festival. And we would like to invite everybody, and we want to put up that photo of the banner of the event again. Again, this is coming up on this Saturday, September 25th, starting at 6 p.m. at Lady of the Lavang Church in Las Vegas. So we're going to put that information on the social media page. So come out and meet Kim and Tuan and the rest of the Vietnamese American community. Of course, the invitation is out for everyone. And obviously, ACDC is very supportive of events like this. They have their own events coming up. In case you're putting this on your calendar, we have September 25th on the same day before you head down to the Mid-Autumn Festival. They have their pop-up clinic at the Shanghai Plaza. If you want to get your COVID-19, your flu vaccinations, it's happening there from 10 to 2. Also on October 1st, that's coming up for First Friday. ACDC is going to be down there along with many other Asian American groups with vendors and a flu COVID-19 pop-up clinic there as well. So save the date, September 25th and October 1st, to join us, AAPI communities out here in Las Vegas getting together. So again, we want to thank Kim and Tuan, we have the Vietnamese community, for coming out and sharing your thoughts and just your passion for your community. Just I really respect that and all the work that you've done trying to make connections with the rest of Southern Nevada. So thank you again. Kim, do you want to say anything in Vietnamese maybe for Vietnamese people who are listening out there to get them to come out on Saturday?
Mời mọi người đến vui Tết Trung Thu. Welcome everyone. That's meaning welcome everyone to our Mid-Autumn Festival.
Awesome. And Tuan, what about you? Do you want any special message?
Well, to me, I think that it is very honored to working along with other community, make sure that especially the Vietnamese community and other faith-based organizations, like the Buddhist temples, we have about 5 or 6 of them here. And the Baptist church, we have like 2 or 3 of them around. And there's only one Catholic church which we are attending. However, there is smaller organizations throughout the county and throughout the state. We would like to have someday we're going to unite it into one organization, or actually working together to make sure that we have the voice, to the community as well as to the officials.
That's great. Yeah, and that's the goal of this, is giving voice to all the different groups in the community, including the Vietnamese community. So thank you again for Kim and Tuan for joining us today, and thank you for listening and watching this podcast today on Family and Focus here on PHLV Radio, and we will see you again next week. Have a great
Thank
day.
you so much.
See you this coming Saturday on the 25th.
Yes, come on out.
See everyone at 6 p.m. on Saturday.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.